Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 180 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies. Hey, Steve, are you in my house right now?
No.
No.
There's a blizzard. Quite literally a blizzard outside.
Yeah. It's a blizzard so bad that Ted Cruz ran away.
Yes, he is in Barbados or wherever the hell it is that he ran off to. Or
he's a big baby.
I'm sorry, he was dropping his kids off that last time. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was his kid's fault.
He was dropping them off, but then he was coming back because, you know, he's a great congressman or senator or whatever.
Yeah,
he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Texas, stop voting for him. I know gerrymandering and like a million, but like also just stop voting for him.
And everyone knows that. Like everything I hear is everyone hates him, but they still will vote for him just because they don't want a Democrat. It's like, dude,
why?
It can't just be about politics. You got to actually have some kind of respect for the person, and no one has respect for him.
Exactly. Not even other people in the industry have respect for him. Literally, no one has respect for him.
No, not even a little bit. And then what I love, Al Franken once said, he goes, you know, what people have got to understand is I probably like Ted Cruz more than anyone in the Senate, and I hate Ted Cruz. The way he put it was so perfect. It's like, yeah, you know. There it is. Well, there's our political start to the show, everyone. Welcome to NerdPod Generations, episode 180. This is big episode 180, and if this is your first time listening to us, please go back and listen to our back catalog of 179 gems. And when you do, go to nerdpodgen.com, and on our main page, there's a link to our most recent podcast. And there's also links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also links to YouTube, where Al graciously uploads clips and full episodes of previous and current podcasts. Make sure when you go to subscribe to not only the podcast, but also to the YouTube channel. That helps us out quite a bit. Yeah. Also, let your friends know. We're just two normal guys talking shit about stuff that we like and stuff we don't necessarily like.
Yeah, we get very upset about the things that we don't like, and we get very excited about the things that we like, and usually we get more upset about the things that we don't like than the things that we do like. But hey, you know, that's part of the fun. That's part of the challenge.
And I have to say, Al, I went into the Patriots Broncos game tonight.
I can't talk about
planning to root for the Broncos.
How'd that go for you?
Because of your disdain.
Yeah, and how'd that go?
In the pregame, when they showed Jared Stidham's wife in her mink coat with her two girls crying their eyes out because they're terrified, but her and her friends more interested in getting photos on the field than getting her children off the field because it's freezing and they didn't have coats on, they had sweatshirts on. And it's like, these two girls were, I looked at that, I was like, dude, I don't want Stidham to win now. I don't have anything against the guy, I don't know him, but when I saw that, I was like, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. It looked like something out of the New Housewives of Orange County or whatever the hell they call it.
I didn't realize you could pass on CTE to your significant other. This is important information that Haley Steinfeld should be made aware of.
I didn't know she was pregnant, Haley Steinfeld.
You didn't know she was pregnant?
I did not know. I guess I don't pay attention that much to that stuff.
It's been my entire feed for like 3 weeks now.
Hey, let's just hope it doesn't look like Michael B. Jordan, but she did get very close in that movie. So no, congratulations to Josh and Haley. It's going to be a very attractive, talented child that comes from the two of them.
Yes, undoubtedly. You know, I don't really have anything else. So there's Bills news from this week, but we're not going to report it because I can't stomach it.
Dude.
To go back to, I do want to close the chapter on this. McDermott has been fired, finally.
Yes.
After a year of me calling for it, after me giving him the nickname McDermottitis because fucker left you feeling red and irritated and scratchy and flaky and just like, dude fucking was terrible. So he's finally been fired, even though I still argue that what happened isn't really his fault. But someone pointed out Brandon Beane, who gave himself, this is the part that bothers me, Brandon Beane somehow gave himself a promotion, which usually means that the guy is no longer going to be the GM, right? You get fired by being promoted out of the position. But not Brandon Beane. Brandon Beane somehow got promoted but is still the GM and is still in charge of all player personnel decisions and is going to be hiring the new head coach.
Yeah, so he is the team president and GM.
And I just like, why? No. You guys fucked it up. The way that this works is you promote them because you don't want to fire them. So you promote them so that they can't do the job anymore because they're not in that position anymore. And now you have a new GM to take over because the old GM was promoted. So he can't be GM anymore because he was promoted. Well, the Bills say, no.
Yep. Not only are we going to put him in the position where he's still GM, but he's going to interview Phillip Rivers for the head coaching job. A guy that's only coached high school football.
Oh, and he's going to interview fucking Joe Brady.
Oh.
Joe Brady's interviewing for the job. Like, fucking a bunch of people that shouldn't be anywhere near the job.
I still think they're going to give it to Brady.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to give it to Brady. I bet you they will.
Oh, I'm sure. I think so, too. I think they're going to give it to Joe Brady for no reason at all. They're going to essentially just rerun it back with a bad defensive coordinator. What Brandon Beane needs to understand is that if we don't make it to the Super Bowl next year, I think he's fired. This is your one mulligan. You don't get another one. Someone pointed out that in it's been 8 years since he's been there, they've had 2 Pro Bowlers drafted under his tutelage. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? What the hell? Like, this is a big problem in the NFL now. You do this thing where you only half wash the car.
Yeah.
You don't wash the whole car. And you say, well, the GM half, we're just going to leave that. That's fine. No. You got the whole thing. You wash the whole car. The whole thing has to be cleaned out. Not just one half. It's not just one half that was the problem. McDermott didn't choose the players that he had on the team. You know, he had input, but he didn't choose the players that would be on the team.
Yeah.
And then you have fucking Pagula over here making things infinitely worse by spilling all the tea.
Yeah, saying that it's actually McDermott that chose Keon Coleman, when there's video showing Bean going, oh my God, we got our guy, I'm so excited.
Oh my God, Keon Coleman ran slower than anybody wanted him to, so no one's going to take him. So now we can trade down twice to take him and get assets that you're going to cut that are never going to make the team because you got you got a 5th round pick? Oh God, it's so great, you got a 5th round pick. No one fucking cares, man. No one fucking cares.
No.
I don't know what your fucking problem is, but it's insane to me. The way that the Bills have gone about it has instantly crippled us in 1 week, and on top of that, the Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl. So it's going great.
And the funny thing is the offseason quite literally has not started yet, and they've already had the worst offseason of any team in the NFL with their moves that they've made already. I'm truly in shock by the moves they made.
Because, we almost got what we wanted. Mike McDaniel interviewed for a coaching position with the team, but he would only take it if he was going to be head coach. If they're going to make him offensive coordinator, he's just going to go to Los Angeles because he already has a job standing with the Chargers in LA as their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And so on top of everything else, you're late, so you don't get Stefanski, he's in Atlanta now. Fucking Harbaugh, he's in fucking New York. Like, all these guys are gone. So we're going to end up with Joe Brady. Yeah. Or, if we don't end up with Joe Brady, we're going to end up with Brian Daboll. And, I'm just... there's still time to hire Brian Flores. There is still time to hire Brian Flores.
Didn't he re-sign with Minnesota?
Maybe he did. I haven't been checking the headlines.
I believe he re-signed with Minnesota.
To be a defensive coordinator? Come on, give him a head coaching job, man.
You know what, though? Some of these guys, I think they're starting to get the hint of, if I just stay as a coordinator, I'm still making millions, and I have a third of the pressure that I had as a head coach, and I can build something great that, a couple years down the line, I get, instead of having to interview with 7 or 8 teams for a head coaching job, I have people coming at me like Ben Johnson going, we're going to give you a job. Yeah. You just need to say you want it. Because he's still I think Flores is still in that mode where he has to interview and it's not just handed to him.
Well, and Flores also has his lawsuit against the NFL that's still pending. That whole thing, which I think would probably be damaged if he did take a head coaching job. So there's also this idea that he's been blackballed from any other head coaching jobs because of that, which I'm just like, if that's the case, that's the dumbest fucking thing of all time. The easiest thing you can do is give him a head coaching job and you know, I'm sure the NFL would want to sweep this under the rug and move on and not have it be a black mark on their reputation.
Yeah, I agree. No, I totally agree. Yeah, so right now the Rams game's going on. Last time I checked, they were down 7-3 to Seattle. I have not checked since then. But that game's going on. I honestly could care less about game. I could really care less about most football now.
The whole season ended last week. I checked out. I was done. I'm outie. Yeah. I'm done. I'm not doing this nonsense. You know, like this whole thing. It's been such bullshit.
As much as I would like to have seen my team move on, it is kind of nice to be done with that for a little
bit. I was getting there. I was getting to that point of like, God, I just want my team to be out of it, so I don't have to think about it anymore. And now it's like, could we have gone out in a better, more, you know, less embarrassing fashion? I think that would have been nice, as if we could have gone out in a fashion that wasn't outrageously embarrassing and left us without a soul and wondering how many years we're going to have James Cook before we trade him for a second and a third.
I do have to say, and people are not giving the Bills enough credit. They played a crazy game against the Jaguars, then had to fly home, fly cross-country on a short week, play the number one seed in the AFC with what, even today watching the Patriots game, the defense is insane. And they still got it down to the very end.
You couldn't get fucking three. You couldn't get fucking three. Like, fucking serious? They held the Patriots to 10 and you couldn't get 3?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't know. That was crazy. But anyways, so that's football. It's pretty much done for us. Next time we talk football, I mean, we'll probably bring up whatever happens in the Super Bowl, but next time we really get into football won't be until the preseason little shoot-up we do in August.
Yeah, I'm going to say the next things that are going to come up for football, unless stuff changes with the Super Bowl very significantly, I'm going to say that the next time we're going to talk about football is going to be when the Bills hire somebody or the draft. I don't think we're going to talk about football again before one of those two things happen, and only more as an update than as anything else.
Which is fine by me, because I have a bunch of nerd stuff I need to get off my chest. I've been really diving deep into the nerddom, and
let's get out of football zone.
And man, today we have a big movie review we're doing for the main part, but we do start every episode, folks, with a tangent like we just went on, but then also with a little segment we like to call "What Have You Been Watch, Play, Read." And I'm going to start off this week because I have one individual thing, and then we're going to talk some trailer park stuff. So my individual thing is I did start rewatching season 3 of Picard.
Okay.
And I'm 3 episodes in, and man, I forgot how damn good that season was.
Yeah, it got better.
I know we had some issues with it. I have not hit the issues yet that I know I'm kind of waiting for it. But the more I'm watching it, I'm like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually, even some of the awful parts with, like, the Worf side of it, where they're kind of figuring out who the red woman is and all that, and they're doing all that stuff with the Starfleet intelligence. That stuff was a little, I remember we weren't a big fan of, but even this time I'm like, it actually holds up. Like, it's holding up better. Yeah. I don't know if it's just because I'm far enough removed from it, because I think we kind of went in skeptical into season 3 because season 2 was such a letdown.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of hitting.
I remember really enjoying the parts that leaned into being a TNG reunion season.
Yes.
And really disliking the stuff with Rafi and 9. Like, the stuff with Rafi and 9 felt like such a drag down in terms of, like, what I actually wanted out of the season, and we kept on getting distracted by all this other shit with Rafi and 9, and I was like, I don't care about this. I also really still disagree heavily with writing out 3 of the main 6 characters from season 1 by season 3. 4 of the main 6 characters.
Oh, yeah.
Because you wrote out fucking Cristobal, and you wrote out Alison Pill, and you wrote out the Romulan that was a samurai. Mm-hmm. Like, just so many things that's like, oh, I like those characters. I didn't want them to leave. I kind of wanted them to hang around and be part of the show, but I guess they're gone now. Cool. And Alison Pill's the Borg Queen. Okay. Interesting choice.
See, I almost look at this season as the sequel trilogy in Star Wars. So you had the first season, first movie, good. It was enjoyable. We had some issues with it, but overall it wasn't bad. Second movie, horrific, and we were kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Same thing with second season. We're like, what the fuck is going on? And then the third season where they're like, we just got to write out some characters. We just got to reboot everything. We kind of bring it and do a big fan service. But the difference is that Star Trek did it much better than what Star Wars did with Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
And that's what I see with Picard Season 3. It's like they're like, dude, the second season was so rough. We just got to give the fans what they want. We just got to put everyone back together and just throw it out there. Because I knew for a lot of talk in the first season, when I saw a lot of behind the scenes, they didn't really even think they were going to bring the cast back of the OG series. Like, Frakes, he even saw it in an interview. He goes, I hadn't acted in years. I was terrified. He goes, I didn't even think I knew what to say. But then after the first season and then the second season went so bad, they're like, okay, we just got to bring everyone back.
Yeah.
And it gave us the fan servicey moments that I can't wait to see again. I am looking forward to getting back to those last few episodes where they're on the Enterprise, and it's kind of baller.
I still love the moment when they go to the museum and Geordi is the curator of this Starfleet museum that's just all ships, and he just maintains all the ships in this museum. And the original NC-17 whatever is in there.
Yeah.
And I love that moment. That moment's so special. It's so good.
And to hear that he just takes bits and pieces from other ships to rebuild the Enterprise, that's like, dude, that's so awesome. That's so Geordi. That's what I would see him doing.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, and then a bunch of trailers have hit. So the first one, do you want to start with the least exciting or the most exciting?
Let's start with the least exciting.
Okay, so Super Mario Brothers movie.
It's definitely a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Which my kids are super excited. I'm interested in seeing if they can improve upon what they kind of laid out in the first one. They made a big deal of this second trailer being like a full Nintendo Direct, and I'm not joking, it lasted 5 minutes. It was like Miyamoto said a couple things. They showed a minute and a half trailer, and then the guy from Imagination said a couple things, and then it was done. And you're like, we got up at 9, we were at 9 o'clock, we were all excited, and then it was done at 9:05.
Yeah. No, I don't know why they did an entire direct for this. This just needed to be dropped like any other trailer. There wasn't anything even special. If anything, this muddies the water on what to expect from this movie, because now the first trailer comes out and they're like, oh, we're doing Galaxy and we're going to make it just like the game and it's going to be cool and we're going to go to planets you recognize from the game and here's Rosalina and she's played by Brie Larson and it's going to be really dope as it. And it's like, oh, cool, interesting. I'm not sold because this is kind of the bill of goods you sold me on the first one and it didn't, I didn't really get the delivery that I was expecting. And then this one, they're like, oh, we're going to do a direct. It's going to be huge. And you're like, okay, interesting. And then this trailer is all about Yoshi. This movie's going to have Yoshi in it. Like at the end credit scene at the end of the last movie was, we get to see Mario is like a dirt bike rider now and he can do all the stunts and stuff. And they got these cool ponchos. And I'm just sitting here wondering what power up they had to take to generate these the ponchos and the bikes and everything. Yeah. Like, was it like a special mushroom that they had to have for that? So they go into this cave that everybody would recognize from Odyssey, and you're like, okay, fan service. Okay, I don't mind this. They meet Yoshi. You're like, okay, all right, this is interesting. And then it just becomes like one of those high school dramas where there's like a new friend in the group. And like this has been done on sitcoms to death. Like Always Sunny did this in a sitcom, which is kind of funny because now you have Charlie Day doing Luigi and doing his whole like, I'm not scared anymore. I'm scared. I'll be that guy tomorrow. And it's like, I don't. This to me, I get to the end of the trailer and I'm just kind of left being like, I don't know what to do with this. So I know Yoshi is in Galaxy 2. I know that this doesn't break anything, but then you see Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and you're like, okay, so now I'm really confused because, like, I know what this is going to be, and I know what this should mean, and those two things do not align. This is not going to be what it should be, and instead it's going to be like, oh, they take, like, a reverse mushroom, and they become babies, and now Toad and Yoshi have to carry them around all the time, and that's, like, the entire third act of the movie, and you're just like, okay, all right, this is the whole plan?
This is my problem with the first movie. It's going to be my same problem with this movie. They're trying to fit in all the games into a single movie. And it's like, okay, so you got Odyssey. You have Galaxy. You have Yoshi's Island with the baby Mario and baby Luigi. You have all of these different things they're trying to fit in, and it's like, dude, just do like an Odyssey movie. Or if you're going to do Galaxy, just do Galaxy. You don't need to fit all of the different games into these. Like, they are set up for... You could do an OG Super Mario Brothers movie. You know, Super Mario Brothers 2, the American version with the weird dream sequence. You have your movies all set up, but they have to intertwine everything, and it's becoming kind of a mess.
They have the villain from Super Mario Sunshine. And so it's just like, so you're doing Galaxy and Super Mario World and Super Mario Sunshine and Yoshi's Island.
And Odyssey.
And Odyssey. And it's just like, pick two. Listen, pick two. You can't do more than two.
Yeah.
Figure out a better idea than this, because this movie seems like it's made explicitly and only for children.
Yes.
Every time they do that, it always pisses me off, because you're leaving so much on the table. There's so many other generations of people that would be interested in this, and I would assume aren't interested in this Americanified, based on the 90s, terrible film with Bob Hoskins and the the terrible animated one from the mid 80s, and like,
oh god,
why do you feel like you have to, pledge allegiance to these failed projects from yesteryear? Wipe the taste from your mouth, forget all about them. I will never get over the fact that Mario and Luigi are from Brooklyn for no reason.
Yeah.
No one told them to do that. No one was expecting them to do that. No one sat around and said, oh, you remember how they were from Brooklyn in that really terrible 90s movie that everybody hates? It'd be like if you adapted The Grinch, but instead of using any of the original source material, you only use the Jim Carrey Grinch movie. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
That's only good for nostalgic reasons. There's nothing good about it metrically. If we're talking about actual things that you can take off the bone and use, there's nothing here. So why are we idolizing it like it's the best thing ever?
Yeah, I don't understand. So, that was kind of a letdown today, I'm not going to lie, mainly because it was something I was hoping for and hoping they had course corrected after that first trailer, which gave me a little bit of hope. Now I am feeling less and less hopeful after this trailer.
I mean, not for nothing, but they didn't mention Rosalina, and they've never said Brie Larson's name in any of these directs.
No.
And I'm just left being like, I don't get this, man. I don't get this. As a way to go about things, this makes about as much sense as the way you make Pokemon games. I don't get this.
Yeah, especially with the movie coming out in a couple months. Comes out in April. So it's like, it's coming out soon, and it's still very choppy of exactly what's going on and what we know. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but like you said, they're making it so much for kids that I don't think there has to be a rhyme or reason to why things are the way they are.
I mean, it's like the Minecraft movie. Ultimately, they're just gonna be like, who fucking cares? This is for kids. It's the Schumacher Batman and Robin approach.
Yeah.
This is for children. We don't have to make it good. We don't have to make it make sense. We don't have to follow our own rules, laws. Just get rid of all that shit and just make it for kids. And it's bright colors, and it's something for parents to put on for 2 hours in the background. And we're going to try and make it so it's not super obnoxious for the parents to listen to a million times. But as far as making it for the parents, that's where our ideas are going to end. We're not going to think anymore about making this for anybody else besides children, because we've decided that children are our only audience. And it's way easier to make stuff for them because they don't care about all this stuff, and they'll accept anything as garbagey as it is as canon. Yeah. Look at Marvel.
Oh, my God.
How many 8-year-olds that have been raised on Marvel for the last 10 years are like, oh, Marvel's great. And it's like, dude, you haven't even read a fucking comic. You don't know shit about Pokemon.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay, so we need to move on to another part of my childhood. The Masters of the Universe trailer. So...
Yes. The internet is of two minds on this one.
So first off, you have the Jared Leto issue, who plays Skeletor.
He plays Skeletor?
Jared Leto Skeletor.
You gotta be fucking shitting me.
So once again,
why do people keep giving him jobs?
I don't know. But so once again, you have the Jared Leto effect that we need to take into account, even though they wisely don't have him saying anything, and it's just the CG Skeletor you see in the trailer. I gotta admit something. He-Man is not big enough. It's He-Man. He should look like the guy from Reacher.
He would, that's not, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. You would have to have a completely different body type. Like the guy that they have is super ripped. He's ripped as shit, but he's not, he's not Alan Richardson wide.
He's not even like a Henry Cavill. You know what I mean? He, like, watching him swing the sword, and you're like, I got back muscles as big as that guy. It's like, when you think He-Man, like, you think about the Dolph Lundgren one. Dolph Lundgren was jacked and huge. And it's like, he looked like He-Man. It's like, okay, Ivan Drago is He-Man. Like, that's what you got to aim for. When I saw this guy on screen, I'm like, okay, when he's the prince, yeah, I can absolutely buy it. He looks the part. He's got the hair. He's got the charisma. He looks fine. But then when he changed into He-Man, I was like, oh. I mean, I know I don't want to sound like I'm doing some kind of body shaming or something, but it's like, dude, you're playing He-Man. It's like somebody playing Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie and having, like, Jim Carrey play Schwarzenegger. It's like, no, dude, you're playing He-Man. You have to be massive. You have to be this giant human being. And he's big, like you said, he's big, but he's not He-Man big. I know there are actors that are bigger than him that would fit that look better than what this guy does. And that really threw me off when I saw the trailer, because I'm like, oh, that's what he looks like? Okay. Because they wait till really the end to show him in He-Man form.
Oh yeah, we don't see him in his loincloth until the end of the trailer. I didn't have an issue with it, but I definitely see where you're coming from with it, because, like, in order to get the kind of scope that we are looking for, you would need to go out and get a power lifter or a bodybuilder of some kind, like a Schwarzenegger, like a Lou Ferrigno, and teach them to act, which might work with He-Man being kind of like an off-planet kind of guy. He doesn't quite fit in with everything else. I think that's the only way, because, like, I do agree with you. I'm looking at He-Man, and I'm, like, missing, like, the neck roll that you see on NFL players.
Yeah.
Where, like, their deltoids are just insane. But, at the same time, I get it.
I would take Hugh Jackman in The Wolverine, the one where it takes place in Japan. The scene where he's, like, shirtless, and you're like, that physique is what He-Man should look like. Like, that's like a minimum of what
I think they get to that. I think the issue is just that he doesn't look like I agree with you in this sense. He should look like a professional athlete. Like, he should look like this is all he does. This is closer to, like, a Johnny Cage, where it's like what he does on weekends, but he's not, like, devoted to it. Like, this should be all he does is lift and lift and lift and lift and lift. I think it's going to be fun. I like the cast a lot. I didn't realize Idris Elba was in this. That's going to be interesting.
I didn't know he was Man of Arms. Like, that's kind of cool, him as Man. Even though I'm curious, because so Man at Arms in every iteration of He-Man, including the movie in the 80s, is a gruff old man. As much as I love Idris Elba, and I love him, and I think he's a fantastic actor, I don't get that vibe from
I definitely get gruff old man.
The gruffer older guy.
Oh, from Idris Elba, 100% I get gruff old man.
I don't know. I'll have to see that to
You're thinking of Luther. He's not Luther anymore. He I think after Cats he stopped being Luther and turned into something else.
You gotta bring up Cats. I don't want to think of him in Cats. He's my boy. He should not be in Cats.
I don't want to think of anybody in Cats.
No. I love Luther. And by the way, folks, if you've not seen the British cop drama Luther, it's awesome. You got to see Luther.
But I'm also excited to see Ella Purnell. I love Ella Purnell. I'm excited to see her in this. When I found out that she was She-Ra, I was like, okay, all right, I can get behind that. That's fun. I'm always very skeptical, and I know that this is part of the He-Man lore, but I'm always very skeptical of a movie where the first act has to establish this is a guy from a magical land who is not in the magical land. He's on Earth, like New York City, Earth, like has to deal with cell phones and turnstiles, Earth. And now we're going to take him off of that Earth and put him on the planet he should be on. I'm like, can we just skip to the part where he's on the planet that he should be on, and we can just not do all of the Prince Adam stuff? Like, I get it. I get it, and I'm not saying it's wrong to do it. I'm just saying, like the Super Mario Brothers movie, that to me is always the most boring, tawdry, unnecessary part, because it's either dumb and has no basis on what's going
Yep.
on, or it's this hanging thing that's going to come back later, and you're like, but I don't want to go back to Earth. I don't want to have to save 2 planets. I don't want to do this whole thing. Can we just have it be in this magical world of Eternia, and we don't have to do all the other stuff? Why can't we do that? Why is it important that Adam works a minimum wage, mid-level office job? Like, I don't think that's important. I don't think we have to do that.
That was cringeworthy.
Why are we doing that? To put him in a pink shirt? Why are we doing this, man?
Yeah, that was cringeworthy. I hated that, and I agree with you 1,000%. I wish, like, it is as much as there are issues with the OG Masters of the Universe movie, I still prefer that where they start off on Eternia, and then they go to Earth. But it's like, okay, so these are magical beings in a magical land, and then they go to Earth. Instead of, oh, I had to send you to Earth to protect you, and you're growing up as a human, and and it's like, really? It's so painfully obvious that they're doing this just for comic relief. Like, they just want to get these funny fish out of water scenes and all this crappy comic relief, and it's like, dude, it's terrible.
I just don't get it, and it slows everything down. Now Adam has to be the audience surrogate and be shocked at everything that he sees. Oh, I can't believe that. Your name is Man-at-Arms? What a weird name. Oh, my God. And it's like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
This is stupid, and it degrades the elements of the story that the fans are here to see in the first place. So, like, I'm not even, like, a He-Man fan. I'm just saying, like, as someone who's watched Marvel do this so many times, you don't need to do it. You don't need to start the character at 0.01, where, like, they are pre-born, and we have to watch them be born and then grow up, and then we can get to the adventure after 50 minutes of watching this character that I should care about, but I don't, because his problems are my problems, and I don't want to watch someone else have my problems and then be given a magical solution to not have to deal with my problems anymore, and now they get to go and do something. I don't want this man. I'm not here for it. I don't want to know what his Starbucks order is. I don't want to know how he does his taxes. I don't want to know what his apartment looks like, man. I don't want this shit. Get it out of here.
Yeah. So I'm a little skeptical, but, you know, once again, it's something I grew up with childhood, so I'm kind of curious to see what it's going to look like. It better be better than the Dolph Lundgren one. If it's not, they got some big issues.
It looked good. I'll say this. As much as we disagree about, like, how he needs to look and everything, I think the look of the movie is good, and I think the pacing and style of the trailer sells it well. So now it's just down to whether the movie actually does that, or if it pulls a Marvel and it's like, well, I sold you a bill of goods, but I have no intention of actually doing that.
And Jared Leto.
That's a problem. I didn't know about that problem until now, but now I know it. It's definitely a problem.
It's going to be a massive problem, especially after Tron Ares bombed.
Jesus.
Now, the final one I want to talk about is the new Darth Maul animated show coming to Disney+.
Yeah.
Which I found out is going to be like a tight, I believe it's 9-episode limited series.
Sounds right.
So it's not going to be this long-running series. Dude, that looked amazing.
That is what we've finally been waiting for from a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
That is everything that we've been waiting for. And, like, I have always been at odds with the Clone Wars style. I don't like it. I think it's not only ugly, I think it does a disservice to the stories that they're telling. I think it limits the emotionality of the characters. I think it immediately makes it harder to root for anybody in the story, because all you can think about is their weird clay hair and, like, the proportions being wrong, and, like, Star Wars has a very specific look, and this is not that look, but then they've tried over the last 20 years to make it that look, and I've never understood it. I don't like that style. Holy shit, this looks really good.
It looks so good.
Immediately, like, so interested in this. The tone, the pace, the style of it. This is what we've been waiting for. And I do think that Star Wars would benefit from taking a more animated approach to things over some of the live action stuff.
But also, I'm hoping they've learned from Andor that taking a darker approach to the material is the way they need to go, because this is insanely violent, very dark, and the part that I agree with you on the animation, and it looks like they've adjusted this animation a little bit. It still has a little bit of the Clone Wars,
yes,
but it's been, the lighting in this is unfucking freaking believable.
Yeah, I would agree with that because that's always been an issue. Because I remember watching Rebels, and just when you say the lighting is incredible, just thinking back to Rebels, the lighting was always so flat in Rebels. There wasn't any dimensionality to the lighting. It was just so flat and one-dimensional, and it was very much like just light the scene. We don't have to worry about anything else. And this, I think, looks great for not liking the animation and style as much as I don't. I think it looks great. I'm very interested in it. It is so much more alive than so many other Star Wars projects have been.
Yeah.
Like, right out the gate. Like, this has more soul in it than Ahsoka. This has more soul in it than fucking Acolyte ever could hope to. You can tell that this is made by people that really, really care about Star Wars, genuinely care about Star Wars, and not just what's-his-nuts, Filoni, who is now in charge of the whole thing, but Sam Witwer, who has voiced Darth Maul since Ray Park stopped being Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Sam Witwer is an insane Star Wars guy. He played the guy in Force Unleashed. He did the mocap for that guy. And ever since then, he has been tied at the hip to Star Wars. And the guy is just like, he's Henry Cavill levels of encyclopedia.
I didn't know he did some Palpatine work, too, in some of the animateds, which I didn't know he did that also.
Yeah.
Yeah, his voice work is amazing.
Yeah, no, he's great. I'm always super impressed with him.
Yeah, I'm so hopeful.
And so as long as, like, they're holding true to the people that are making it and not allowing themselves to be bullied off of this land, you know, because, like, that's one of the things is that Rebels, I think, if we look at Rebels and we look at Ahsoka, where Ahsoka is essentially the last season of Rebels as, like, a spinoff, Rebels, as silly and childish as it was at times, the last, like, 6 episodes of Rebels are really dark and really intense. I look at this, and this is so much closer to that style and feel. And it doesn't feel like The Bad Batch, where you needed to watch all 18 million seasons of Clone Wars in order to care about any of the characters. And it doesn't feel like Ahsoka, where you have to watch all 5 seasons of Rebels to know anybody or what the fuck is going on. And it just feels like, oh, here's Darth Maul. Here's a bunch of characters nobody's ever heard of. Maybe if you're, like, a hardcore Star Wars fan, you'll be able to pick out who's who, but, like, generally speaking, most people aren't going to know them, but everybody knows Darth Maul. So this is just going to be what Darth Maul is doing. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? We're going to find out. And so I'm genuinely curious about this.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing. I like how they're doing the release, and I'm 99% sure on this. I'm trying to remember exactly, but it comes out in March, and the last episode airs on May the 4th. So it's like, that is...
Oh, nice.
Kind of awesome that they timed it out to go exactly to that date.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's like you're saying, it's that little nerdy touch that only a true fan would really appreciate.
Looking at Rebels and looking at Acolyte are a great way of defining what's wrong with Star Wars right now. Because you look at the Acolyte, and the Acolyte is just about doing the incredibly simple thing of saying, hey, you know God and you know the devil? Well, what if God was the devil and the devil was God? Crazy, right? What if the guy that was the bad guy this whole time was actually the good guy trying to do the right thing, and the guy that we all thought was the right person was actually the devil, and we've all been terrible individuals on his behalf? And it's like, this isn't writing. This is just garbage where you don't acknowledge any of the history of Star Wars, and because of that, it makes no fucking sense the entire time. You're just like, I don't understand where any of this comes from. The motivations are wrong. The characterizations are wrong. It's like someone who watched Star Wars 50 years ago when it first came out was tasked with writing Star Wars without ever having seen or read or acknowledged any other Star Wars material. And they were like, yeah, I think I remember how that goes. And then, I didn't care about it, so I'm going to change it and make it my own. It's like, that's bullshit. Where Rebels explores a lot of the same ideas of, like, what is the Force? Is the Force just the Jedi? Is the Force just the Sith? Is the Force more than the Jedi or the Sith? What does it mean to be Force sensitive? What does it mean to be included in this world? What are Force powers? What are the upper levels of what a Force power can be? What can it do? What can't it do? What are the moments that are going to, the Force can kind of make up for a middle ground there, but it can't fully transmute you into a god. Like, there was a lot of, let's explore the actual world of Star Wars. Let's explore the world of the Jedi. Now that the Jedi are gone, let's explore what that world means and what it means to the people in it to not have the Jedi there. Also what it means to the Jedi to have been eliminated and to have to reconfigure what they see themselves as in the society and as a part of the Force. And it's just like Acolyte wanted to have those conversations and did all of it the wrong way. And so it's just like, if they can hold closer to other Star Wars animated series, I think that could be really, really special.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm very excited for this. I can't wait for it to come out. And before we move on to you, I just want to do a quick update. As of right now, with a minute left in the second quarter, the Rams are up 13-10 over the Seahawks. So
yeah,
that's going into the half. So it seems like an exciting game.